elicits their own anmat. Durmat is very similar, but Durmat involves doing those things which break you away from Akal Purkh Waheguru and break you away from sitting and focusing on Akal Purkh Waheguru, which is sharab peeni, drugs lene, mas shakna. Those three things won't allow their dharm or himmat to come inside us, or more side for that matter. They won't allow compassion, they won't allow faith, they won't allow strength in your convictions and steadfastness to arise so that you can merge into Akal Purkh Waheguru. That's Durmat. That's what Maharaj said. Durmat mad jo peevta. Mad means wine. The wine of Durmat, corrupt pleasures, corrupt thoughts. Durmat is corrupt pleasures, taking the ras from them. Anmat is somebody else's thoughts and taking them. Manmat ki hui fir? Manmat is when we just make up things ourselves. That I'll do this then, without asking anyone, without being told by anyone, but it's not necessarily the right path. Manmat. There are three things. And jiri Gurmat hai, that is doing anything but taking Guruji's mat first. This is Guruji's mat. These words are Guruji's mat. Taking the Guru's instructions first, learning from the Guru's lives first, doing an ardas before we're doing any task first, placing the ball, playing tennis with Maharaj, that's what I like to refer to. Placing the ball in Maharaj's court always, always. Maharaj Sahib, I'm nothing, I can't do anything. Push back to Maharaj, tusi karo. But aap kara lo, I'm on this pitch as well, I'm playing you, but the ball's in your court, Maharaj. Tusi karo na sab kuch, main ithe khelna thode naal. You're going to speak, you're going to say, you're going to listen, you're going to do this exam, I'm not doing anything, Maharaj. But main ithe baitha ha, tusi kalam aap pe vor le, kirpa kar le. You do everything. And that's the key. That's actually a bhakti. Saying that is actually a form of bhakti, which we're going to come to in a second. I had to hide this guy's face, sorry. But if you know him, then just tell him that. Sorry man, you didn't copyright it, so I have to make it. Iron Singh. I've come across a lot of this at college. And a lot of that at college, and obviously everyone does that. Very few of that, but that does happen sometimes. Physical loves. Are we affected? Are we just interested in doing these kind of things? Let's look at this one first. Are we just interested in making this body stronger than it is? The sareer that it is. This sareer is nashwant, which means it's just made out of dust. If you look at the mool, the root of what it is, what is it? It's dust. Because when we cremate it, or even when, if you say for example you don't believe in cremation, whatever, and you were put in a grave or whatever, it'll still become dust. It'll still decompose to that particle, sooner or later. If somebody's interested in pampering the body, like there were people at Guruji Maharaj's time, is it possible to meet Vaheguru just by cleansing your body? There was the answer. Maharaj says, just by washing your body over and over again, you won't get to Vaheguru. If you do aspects of that with Simran in your mind, then there might be a chance, because Naam is the what we call Kala. Naam is the catalyst for everything. Prayer is the catalyst. Everything else is secondary. Are we just pampering the body to make it bigger? And then look at the reasons why we're doing that. Is it because we've been bullied in the past, we've been beaten up by someone, or we've always had the mick taken out of us by family, and then we just stop eating? Or we start or you get beaten up because a mate of yours and you stuck up for him, your mates ran off and you got beaten up at a club or something. Is it because of that? That we're just pampering this body and making it bigger? Is it for that reason? What's the mental reason behind it? What is the root of it? क्यों कर रहे हैं? Some of these issues might hit a chord with us, I don't know. Maybe I'm just barking up the wrong tree, I don't know. But this sareer is jajari. Jajari means like, it's brittle. Kabir beda jarjara, phoote 6,000. Kabir beda, this body, jarjara, it's got holes in it. Phoote 6,000, it's got little holes in it, so the water's seeping in all the time. So we're getting attacked all the time by Gam, Growth, lust, anger, greed, attachment, mourn, everything. Jarjara is nothing. And it's like, what's worse is it's got stones in it, we've got patthar in it as well. So we've got holes in it and we put patthar in it as well. Patthar are bad actions, not knowing what we're doing wrong. Durmat and anmat and manmat. The stones of those in the boat, in his body. If we follow the gurmat, then the stones get chucked out, then we can start plugging the holes. The body is jarjara, it's dust. If you want a graphic example, you know what's in the nostrils, you know what's under the nails, you know what's in the waste and the excrement. That's what this body is. Gandagi. It's nothing but gandagi. Some people have got physical love, just focusing on that all the time. Sreer nu badda kar lawa, vadiya kar lawa. Then you got what we call Chetan. This boy is nice, this woman is nice. I need to be in a relationship before marriage. And until I don't be in that relationship, I'm not going to satisfy either my male ego or my female vacancy, feeling vacant. Or, put another way, until I don't have a partner to help me, I can't walk on the path of Sikhi. Or, put it another way, everyone else is doing it, so I can't do it. It's a sign of the times that we're in. We all know that these things happen at university, and even before that at colleges, and even before that at schools, and even before that at probably primary school now. That's how bad it's going. When we were at primary school, there used to be cops and robbers all the time. And there was never that kind of thought process. I was talking to Singh as well about it. He goes, he used to ask his uncle, maternal uncle, his mama, when they were in India. And they said that when we were young, the thought of thinking about another woman's sareer or another man's sareer didn't even come to the mind. We used to never even think about it. Even when we got married, we never used to think about it. That's how much honesty there was. But that's in the late 1930s, and from 1940s, right till now, look how much change there is now. I ask so many of my students, when I see them at college, and I say to them, so how are you? How can I help you? You know, what is that? What's going on? How's things? How are you doing? Okay. This is a person I'm seeing at the moment. Okay. What's wrong? Am I scaring you? Do I look scary? I know I look scary. I'm sorry, man, but must be quite intimidating. I'd be intimidated if I was sitting with myself in the room. And they go, what is he talking about? Confusing me further. But it opens it up, breaks down the relationship. So tell me what's wrong. Just feel down, depressed. Okay. Who do you live with? Mom. Dad? Nah, ain't got dad. stepdad? Yeah, stepdad lives with me. Then I almost say this, which stepdad is it? Because that's the sign of the times. A lot of people, we don't realise, you're on the front line and you see these things in your face, when you see 15-year-old boys selling their bodies to people because they don't even know who their father or their mother is, and they're on crack, cocaine, drugs and everything, and they're in extreme form, and they're walking around in the park, at local park at night looking for a partner. And they've got people paying them money, sugar daddies and stuff. People that paying them money to do sexual acts and stuff like that. Then you start thinking, hang on a minute, I'm going home to my kids and my wife and my mum and dad. How fortunate am I? How lucky am I that I've got married in my life to guide me? They haven't even got that. That's when you start thinking, flipping out, right, which father is it? Third, fourth, fifth, and sometimes it's fifth or sixth, they don't know. Some people don't know the name of their mother and father. That's how broken down society is at the moment. And if I say that it's just gore that I come across in that situation, then I'll be lying. There's a lot of happening in that situation at the moment as well. But it's something to open our eyes up and make us think about what have we got, what have we got in our life. Boy likes girl, girl likes boy. Works out for about 2 years, then you got other issues coming up, caste issues you don't believe in. Then we've got issues about wealth. Then we've got issues of geographical location. We've got so many issues, and then we wonder, why did I get into this in the first place? And by that time, everything's finished because the izzat is gone, our honour is gone. Our loyalty that we used to think, yeah, you know what, I'm going to preserve this for my married partner, it becomes a lie, and we keep it within ourselves and hold it on. I'm talking about myself, talking about we hold it in ourselves and we hide it for the rest of society, the rest of life. That's the extent that we've gone to. I was quite disturbed actually the other day. I was flicking through the TV channels and I came across this program where parents go to like Spain and with their kids, like the kids don't know that they're there, like in Ibiza somewhere and those kind of weird places. I don't know what it's called, the program. And the parents actually watch them do all the gun stuff that they do. And I was like, what the hell? What's going on, man? What's the world coming to? Pure Kaljug or something. And it's everything's predictive Amara, told by us tomorrow. But it just doesn't make you think until you see in front of your own eyes what's going on. A lot of people say, you should eat meat and all that stuff. Cow, and I'm not stopping you. But Maharaj says don't. Simple as. Beyond the Bhakti and Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. I say that. Why? Just look at the reason why. I'm not going to say no, you shouldn't eat it, not ever. I'm just going to tell you why. There's 3 types of food. There's Tamoguni food, there's Rajoguni food, and there's Satoguni food. Okay. With the Tamoguni food, which is meat, sharab, drugs, alcohol, all those kind of things, taliyo cheejan, those things are not susceptible to providing a good environment for you to do Simran in your body. We'll put it in a really politically correct way there. If a guest comes to our home, it's a normal guest. Especially if the guest's coming from India, you think, man, I'm going to go to the airport to get him. Or if we're going to pick someone up from Heathrow or whatever, or you're going to India to meet someone, you don't feel like sleeping. But you always leave the dirty to the last minute. You know what happens. Your mum and dad are arguing, saying, plana this, lock it, and then they go crazy about the little nishani that you tie on the dirty at the end, the little ribbon thing. It happens to everyone. I don't know, it only happens to my house. Does it happen to everyone else? And it's some next level flowery little nishani that they bring out right at the end. which has been in some other drawer for years and years, and they have jandi nahi lagi, and then you put a jandi on, and then you have to weigh it, and then no one's really got a machine to weigh it, and then like you have to stand there with weighing scales on top of it, and you're holding 30 like that, so you have to work out your weight before, forget it, man. But what I'm trying to say is, that ਉਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਰਾਤ ਨੀਂਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ if somebody's coming to our house. ਚਾਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਬੰਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ, yeah. Then before maybe we might clean the whole house up, you know, make it all nice and everything, make it sorted out, clean it, put air freshener on, or ਕਦੇ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਵੇ that this house is stinky and you know we've got bad breath, and you know like you make it look really nice. We do that for guests, na? But we don't do it for Maharaj, Akal Vaheguru. You've got to do that same safai within ourselves before Vaheguru comes and sits inside of us. Whether that's seva, whether that's focusing your mind, doing ardas binti first, making a nice clean place, sitting on the floor, on the ground, or if you're sitting with the Gurkha Sahib and everyone else is sitting there, sitting higher than everyone else with the Gurkha Sahib, respect for Bani. Whether it's to sit in focused and attention, then do ardas, Maharaj, I ain't got no capability, you bring this mind to stand still. I ain't got anything. Mere ko koi power nahi hai. Man vaase aave nanaka je puran kirpa hoye Maharaj. Only perfect kirpa, perfect blessings can Maharaj make your mind stand still. And then you do Simran, whatever. Long track before you do that safai as well. But safai we don't give ourselves a chance by going down the mass side. Because tamoguni khana is that kind of food. Then slowly, when Maharaj does kirpa, when the pyar starts to grow inside of ourselves, we start understanding what is right and wrong, when it's eating wise, going wise, talking wise, speaking wise, wearing wise. Then we start thinking, okay, I want to start dropping that now. I'm not going to do this fags business. I've had of it. Had enough. Kevri hunda is because of our personal experiences. If you do it just because somebody's telling you to stop it, that's brilliant. But sometimes we need to experience it for ourselves. To see where we go wrong. And then when we go wrong, we have to kind of deal with the consequences of it before we stop doing it. Tamoguni khana. Then you go into Rajoguni khana. Rajoguni is like the majority of the world is stuck in. Pizza, perfect example. Or food that is going to make you very sleepy, very rich foods. When we go to Guru Ghar, the majority of us just ram the langar and that's it. As soon as we come out, going to sleep. That's an example because the food in Gurdwara isn't prepared as it was supposed to be prepared. It was there to address a need, not build on the need. The problem is now is building on the need. Sometimes in our Guru Ghar they say in Leicester, je lod hai ki te langar chak ke zarur jana, je lod hai. But kai wari si lod to vad kar dinde ha kam. We go above it. And some people just go, well, I be honest, when I was a student I used to do that. When I was a student, I used to go to Gurdana Prasada Pani and say, yeah, Mara, thank you, I needed this, because I ain't got the money to go home and get some dal sabji, or make it myself. Lord Vaste, it's okay, but then it's Rajaguni. That's still okay, but what you'll find is when you're doing Simran this time, you'll feel sleepier, you'll feel tired, the body won't circulate, the body won't work, you'll feel aches and pain in your body. It might not be the right type of food that is commensurate with what you're doing, Simran-wise. But then you start thinking, okay, Mara, I want to fine-tune it a bit more. I just want to eat stuff maybe that I make myself, or I want to eat those foods that have got a good effect on my body, like for example porridge, like for example dalia, like yogurt, like for those kind of foods that are going to help me focus a bit more easier. So that is the launch pad. That type of food is the launch pad for Shuddha Sattva, which is Bhadvitigana, spiritually. I'm not going to go there. So physical love, KFC and all that. And then this Am I worried about how I look? I've come across some Singhs and Singhaniya who are in this kind of mindset, where they say, "Prashada nahi chakna ji. Aaj kitna chakya prashada? Main kal chakya si." And it's 9 o'clock at night when you're asking them. Te kal da ji baitha hai. Maharaj says, "Bhukhe bhagt na kijai. Yeh mala apni lijai. Take away mala mala main to kuch karne aanu. I need bhojan, I need food." And did he not give food to people? Did he not give food? Did Maharaj not give food to his saints? Yes, he did. Bhagtanaji. Bhagtanaji was a simple farmer. He did Simran all the time, and then when Vaheguru came and blessed him, he bought him everything he asked for. He asked for loads of things. He asked for a cattle, he asked for a cattle so that would give milk, he asked for a wife, he asked for flour, he asked for everything, and Maharaj gave it him. This is a big problem at the moment, and the source of this problem is either low self-esteem, which is gathered or obtained from our family and our peer pressure and media. Reducing our weight so that fat people don't get married. Or people who are just slightly over their weight don't get married, not happy. What absurdity is that in there? And even Gursikhs in the past, what if by naturally, by birth that you were like that? Parasari. Or you're not allowed to achieve Vaheguru, Gaupada Vaheguru, just because you eat loads, because your metabolism is higher than everyone else's, or slower than everyone else's. It doesn't make sense. But then there's needs that arise from that kind of thought set. That even if I'm weighing myself now, Holly, I'm still thin, even though you're alright. There's needs that need to be addressed there. Physical loves. Love to be thin. What does Maharaj say about physical loves? Kam, krodh, kaya ko gale, jo kanchan so haga tale. Borax is this kind of chemical, it's like a powder. Any chemists here? No, scientists? Vamastani? Borax is a chemical which is put into mixture when you like heating gold up to melt it, dissolve it, and it acts like a catalyst. Unfulfilled sexual desire and unresolved anger waste the body away. The body is melted by lust and anger. And sometimes that lust and anger is coming from what we eat. When mad cow disease was really rife in this country, people stopped eating red meat. Why? Because they actually made the connection that eating that type of meat was dangerous. Or, I remember when we were younger, and there was salmonella, there's a big issue with salmonella poisoning. And people stopped eating eggs. But then, as soon as it was all clear, the taste, we need that taste, man, so they go back to it again. Kam, krodh, kaya ko kale. Jo kanchan suhaga tale. Even vegetarian food, some vegetarian foods can affect lust and anger. It's a different ball game, different story altogether. But Maharaj is basically saying that this body can do without these things. And actually, very spiritual people, even Gursikhs in Kristi Jivan, even Gursikhs in married lifestyles, will be very, very moderate when it comes to calm. And actually people who only use it for reproduction of children. That's it. Because it affects your spirituality. It breaks away at it. It makes your body weaker than it is. I talked to a Mahaprabhu once and I asked him, I said, what's the score with that? What's the score with that? What is the score with letting your bodily fluids leave your body or having that relationship with the wife, what is it called? And they said this, they said one action, one physical action of love, put it that way, equals 1 month's kamai. 1 month spiritual wage. So 1 month nitnem, 1 month sukhmani sahib that you do, 1 month japji sahib that we do, 1 month panj baniya equals that one release. You lose everything. You know, we're adult about this, we can talk about it, but I'm giving you an example of how we let ourselves lose ourselves so easily. ਇਹੋ ਕਟੰਬ ਤੂੰ ਜੇ ਦੇਖਦਾ ਚੱਲੇ ਨਾਹੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਸਾਥ ਤੇਰਾ ਚੱਲੇ ਨਾਹੀ ਇਸ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਉ ਚਿਤ ਲਾਈਐ. This family which you see shall not go along with you. They shall not go along with you, so why do you focus your attention on them? Even your own kids, I've got little kids, even your own little kids can become barriers from you working spiritually towards Vaheguru, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Even your wife, even your parents, even your husband, grandparents, any relation that we have can become a barrier for you. How? You're going to go to Sangat, you feel like going to see Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj and your grandparents say, "Nahi, aaj nahi jana hai. You've got to do this task for me." And we don't go because we agree with them. We have to do that seva. That's a big seva. Listen to your parents. But at the same time, we miss out on one aspect of Sangat because Maharaj has laid the rules down. He said, yeah, we know your family, married lives and everything. You have love, but bring your family with you. Come together. Go Sangat, go and see Guruji twice a day if we can. If you can't do twice a day, then once a day at least. See Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Social and emotional loves. If anyone recognizes anyone here, I'm maafi mangda, right? Because it's a random photo of the internet, yeah? So if this is your baba, carry that. Like your family, parwaran de sukh. Sometimes you could be born to a family where there's no Sikhi and you want to be Gursikh. I get loads of calls, probably once or two, every 2-3 weeks. Somebody saying, my family's stressing me out, I want to be into Gursikhi, but my family don't allow me. What do I do? What can you do? Seva karo, or do ardas mein to Maharaj. I don't know, I know the answers. But sometimes it can be an obstacle. There was a Mataji Sikh, when her son died, Mata kept crying every single day. रोई गई मेरा पोत मार गया मेरा हो गया चले गया मेरा लाख जिगर चले गया. And then in her dream her son came back and he's got his hands, he's drenched with water and he's standing there. He goes, Mata beinti, every single tear that you shed creates an ocean for me to cross. Please rona band kar de. Then she stopped crying. She realized, because that attachment with our family and friends and ourselves, our families, can create obstacles between us and forming a relationship of love with Guruji. And it helps when you've got a whole family who's focused on one. Then it's brilliant. There's a Sachkhandiya. If there's a parvar, there's a family where, in the evening they ask Kardene, at night there's Kirtan Soila, then there's extra, there's love for Kirtan, they want to learn about Guruji's life. Sikh channel is helping a lot, and all these kind of Sikh and the other Sikh TV Adik, they help a lot because people are beginning to focus on that rather than the good old EastEnders. I think EastEnders are Bamari as well. That TV takes up a lot of our life, So. Maharaj says that those houses, those